but we'll continue standing up for working people. And when you do that, that's how you win a swing district. I couldn't be here without you.
Well, you just heard U.S. Representative Val Hoyle there last night, some reaction to the election, and, well, joining us right now on set. Representative Val Hoyle, thank you so much for being here this morning. I'm sure it was a very late night for you, of course.
It was, yeah.
A lot going on out there. So just right off the bat, your reaction to last night's election results.
So I'm absolutely thrilled to have been reelected by such a solid margin, more than I was than my results in the 2022 election. So I'm thrilled about that and just honored that the people of the district reelected me.
Yeah, and of course, we are still sitting in a position where we're seeing a lot of big changes now from where we were just 24 hours ago to what we're now looking at going into effect come January. So given the seismic shift now, Republicans taking the White House, Republicans taking the Senate, and the House still up in the air, what is your reaction to that moving forward, looking forward to your next term?
Well, you know, clearly the candidate I supported didn't win, but I strongly support the democratic process. Fundamentally, when the votes were counted, Donald Trump won the presidency. We're not going to challenge that because we believe in election integrity. And I will work with anyone. I've been incredibly successful with a Republican House. All of the bills that I've passed have been bipartisan, and I'll work with anyone to get things done for this district.
Okay, and to take things closer to this district and to bring things back to home, I know one of the major platforms that you stand on is labor, unions, and we have been seeing a significant amount of strikes going on right now here in our backyard. We have Bigfoot Beverage that are working on about a month and a half now on strike. Friends Bakery here in Eugene going on strike last week. We're now looking to a potential strike in Benton County for county workers. And I know it's a little outside of your congressional district, but Albany teachers that will potentially be going on strike come November 12th as well. What is your reaction to that, the significant strife that we've been seeing between labor and management?
Well, what we've had is wage stagnation over the last 40 years, and that is why unions have more support over, it's like 72 or 73% of Americans support unions because workers feel like they need to have a stronger voice. And actually in this election, the major issue was the economy and people's buying power with the dollar. So the fact of the matter is when, you know, there are some times where business is stronger and you don't see strikes when workers are able to afford things and they feel like they have a strong voice. So yes, we're seeing labor flexing their muscles, and what I sincerely hope is that workers will be able to get the wages, hours, and benefits that they earn, that they deserve, and I certainly hope that we can settle these strikes as soon as possible.
Okay, and I know another major platform for you has been abortion rights, and we saw several different states with abortion issues that were on the docket, Arizona, Colorado, Maryland, Montana, all enshrining various levels of abortion rights, while at the same time Florida, South Dakota, Nebraska all going in the opposite direction. What's your response to seeing that outcome?
So what Donald Trump has said and what my Republican opponent said publicly was that they would honor states' rights. And here in Oregon, we have enshrined abortion in our states' rights, in our laws. We are seeing OBGYNs from states like Idaho and Texas where abortion is outlawed, where abortion providers will be put in prison if they perform abortions that somebody determines, you know, wasn't for the life or health of the mother. So people are going to be coming here, and I hope sincerely that the Republican administration keeps their word and allows states' rights to stand. My biggest concern is, just like when we were told, don't worry, Roe versus Wade is settled law, is that when we have Republican appointments to the Supreme Court, and we have other court decisions that birth control, mifepristone, and abortion access will be limited through that way. And what we need to do in Oregon is make sure that these rights stay protected. And I believe that that decision should be between a woman and their doctor and not anybody else.
Well, and moving forward with the various appointments that will be happening, all of the approval processes going down in the upcoming administration, what is your outlook now on working with a scenario where we're talking Republicans in taking control of both both the Senate and the White House, and the House still up in the air? How will that process impact you moving forward, do you think?
I think my biggest concern, what Joe Biden did, was that when something was needed and investments were needed in Republican areas, I mean, there was, something built in Marjorie Taylor Greene's district, or when there are hurricanes in Florida. He made sure aid was given and investments in infrastructure was given to Republican and Democratic districts. I certainly hope that the Republican administration, the Republican Senate, Republican House, that they will do the same. What I have found is that in the House, I've been able to work in a bipartisan way to bring investments to the 4th Congressional District. I think a great example is the Port of Coos Bay. We have been very, very careful and consciously ensured that this is a bipartisan project so that, regardless of which administration is in, that we can have the support to strengthen our supply chain and bring those 8,000 jobs to the Southwest coast.
Well, and I know that has been a huge, huge project now, getting the intermodal port up and running. What is the next step now in that process moving forward?
So we were able to get grants to help with the planning and the environmental review. So once those things are done and move through, which again, the grants certainly help with that, once our community outreach and tribal outreach is done, then we can start the building process. We have a public-private partnership. North Point is a company out of Missouri, and they are willing to make a $2 billion investment to build and then operate the terminal. And then we will be working to see how we can get federal money or grants or public-private partnerships to dredge the channel enough to bring those ships in. I'm very excited about that project. And again, we have strong support from Republicans and Democrats, and we're not going to let anything get in the way of moving that forward and delivering on the promise to the Southwest coast to bring economic prosperity to those people that have long deserved that kind of investment.
It sounds like a lot to look forward to on the South Coast. Well, thank you so very much for your time, Representative, and really appreciate you coming in.